While everyone is talking about the upcoming presidential election, today we will go beyond mere politics and dive into a fundamental aspect of global geopolitics, the power of the United States. Have you ever wondered why the United States, even in 2025, continues to dominate the global stage? Why is America still able to project its influence around the world, thousands of miles from its borders? The American empire, far from being just an economic superpower, is a true thalassocracy, a civilization built around the sea. This model combines both hard power and soft power, an indomitable military force, and a flourishing economy that intersect and reinforce each other. But how? And why does this make a difference compared to other powers like China, Russia, or India? The American power projection, an unmatched war machine. Since the end of World War II, America has built an unparalleled global military network. Over 750 military bases in 80 countries around the world, a navy capable of deploying forces to any corner of the planet. Unlike powers like China or Russia, which have military bases abroad, the U.S. military remains unique in its ability to project military force at record speed. Power projection is America's secret weapon, and it makes all the difference. If you imagine a scenario where military forces must move from one point to another, thousands of miles from their base, what makes this action possible? It's the armada that watches over, an omnipresent naval force on every ocean of the world. The importance of the sea in American geopolitics. But wait, why the sea? What makes the U.S. Navy so crucial to America? The answer lies in geography. The United States is protected by two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific. But these same oceans are also the key to their global domination. In 2021, 73.2% of global merchandise trade occurs between Europe and Asia, accounting for 60% of the global GDP. In other words, if the United States wants to maintain its status as the world's leading power, it must protect its maritime trade routes. A fleet of power. The United States are not just masters of the oceans. The U.S. Navy is more than just a war fleet. It is a geopolitical power. But it's not just about the number of ships or aircraft carriers. It's about deterrence, presence, and above all, responsiveness. When an aircraft carrier like the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower crosses the Middle East, it's a clear message to all. The United States are present, and no major conflict will occur without them. The United States does not have one, but 11 aircraft carriers in service. Additionally, each aircraft carrier is part of an air-naval group with impressive attack capabilities. The USS Gerald Ford, a next-generation aircraft carrier commissioned in 2017, symbolizes this technological and military advancement. And where it gets fascinating is that these aircraft carriers are not just tools of war, but also symbols of the US's power projection around the world. Military projection, the from the sea doctrine. Sounds impressive, right? This is exactly what we call the from the sea doctrine. This concept, developed in 1992, defines the idea that naval power must be deployed from the sea to reach coastal areas in order to promote U.S. interests abroad. But beyond mere presence, America uses its naval power to engage in major conflicts and sometimes transform entire regions. Take the wars in Iraq, for example. This projection allowed the United States to spread its influence far beyond coastal areas. The cost of power, countless resources. There's no mystery. All of this is extremely expensive. The U.S. defense budget, particularly that of the U.S. Navy, is colossal. In 2025, the U.S. Navy alone accounts for more than $200 billion, about 24% of the total U.S. defense budget. But how can such spending be justified? The answer lies in the strategic importance of the oceans. The United States cannot afford to remain inactive, as every corner of the world, every sea, and every ocean is a vital trade route. China and Russia, expanding naval powers. Of course, other major global powers like China and Russia are expanding their naval capabilities, but they do not yet have the global projection capability that the United States possesses. China, for example, with its rapidly developing navy, is much more focused on defending its coasts and nuclear deterrence than on global projection. As for Russia, although it has some bases abroad, its naval power remains limited to specific areas. The challenges of modernization, a race against the clock. But not everything is perfect, and the United States, like any military power, faces challenges in maintaining, updating, and repairing its fleet. After the September 11th attacks, military spending saw a massive increase, but with the end of conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan, the trend reversed. The defense budget dropped, leading to a slowdown in modernization programs. The future of the American empire. What does 2025 and beyond hold? So what does the future hold in 2025? Will Donald Trump return and change the game on the international stage? One thing is certain. America will remain at the center of global geopolitics thanks to its military, maritime strategy, and economic influence. As naval technologies evolve, the United States will need to innovate to maintain its dominant position in an increasingly polarized world.